What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Nicholas YouTube channel. Today is Fan Friday, and instead of doing a video, we're actually doing a question and answers for Florida Regionals. And as you see, instead of 4 people, we only have 2. If they just want to introduce themselves real quick.
Go ahead, Rahul. I'm Rahul, I guess. Kevin Kobayashi, you've probably never heard of me.
But they are 2 Florida regional, not regionals, just 2 Florida players down there in regionals. And like I said, this weekend is Florida. So we're just going to go straight into the questions, because I know Rahul doesn't have that much time. So let's see, first question is, how do you feel about the Mega Evolutions becoming the dominant force in Primal Clash metagame? Groudon, Kyogre, Gardevoir, Aggron, Manectric, and possibly Gengar. It seems as if non-Mega decks, except Verzi and Genesect, are not going to be able to compete as well as any longer, as the power creep has hit an insane level.
Go ahead, Rahul. I mean, it's just like everything is bulky as hell right now, and but they're slow. Like the thing is, they're slow. It's what it comes down to. Like the only mega I would ever consider playing is Manectric and maybe Gardevoir. Like the other ones, while viable, are just too slow for me. Like I can't. That's just not my playstyle. Well, I'm gonna disagree. I think almost every mega is good. Groudon, the exception, is clearly the best card out of all the megas, I'd say. Kyogre is kind of subpar from my testing. Even like older megas like Kangaskhan are still extremely good. Britt, Nice, and a couple other players and I came up with like a fairy list with hard charms and used Kangaskhan. And Britt ended up excelling the tournament and posted his list too. So, megas are good.
Yeah, I think they're good too. I mean, some are slow, but once they get rolling, I can't see how you can stop a Groudon. It's the only problem. Alright, so which old deck do new Primal Clash cards assist most?
Fairies, probably. Yeah. Fairies gets a really good buff with Gardevoir. It's still kind of slow, but I think Repeat Ball is slept on. Like Landorus, Crobat obviously gets insanely fast with Repeat Ball. Steel decks get really good with Repeat Ball, and yeah, like Fairy gets it too. I mean, it's a really good card. Yeah, his Fairy's line of best is good.
I think it's fighting also gets Groudon too. If you can add, I don't know. If you're saying Gardevoir plus Fairies,
fighting just becomes weird and clunky at that point. Like it has to become a completely new deck, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's like an entirely new deck.
But would you say that Fairies would be a totally new deck, or would you still put like the old attackers in it?
It's the effectively same concept. You're just adding like a 1/1 Guardian or a 2/2. Yeah, like a 1/1 or 2/2. I think Groudon is more of like it just becomes its own deck. Like you just take all the fighting support. Like before, when you're building like Landorus, Lucario, when like Strong Energy first came out, it was kind of the same thing. But now you're just replacing those attackers with a Mega.
Yeah, true. Alright, Sanchez, we already started though, but if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Hello.
Turn your camera on.
I am trying. Hello everyone, I'm Justin. I'm eating Pollo Tropical. I play Pokemon. I live in Florida. I was once good at this game. One time.
Are you not good no more?
So where are we?
Okay, we're just fishing to ask a new question. What is the most underrated deck choice for day 1?
Yveltal. I mean, like Yveltal's like the old, like everyone like knows it's good and like they know it's still a decent deck, but like people are hyping everything else, so like people just forget about what's good. Like it used to be good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Night March.
You think Night March? You think it's underrated now?
Yeah, I think it's underrated.
Even with 2 people top 32 with it at St. Louis?
Yeah, I mean there was a couple in Virginia as well, but I still think it's really underrated. Everyone's talking about all the new stuff, and it all just gets beat by Night March.
Yeah. I think people are really writing off Rizzy and Genesect. Like, it's still an amazing deck. It's always been an amazing deck since release. It has all the pieces necessary to run through a big tournament, and it's extremely consistent. You know, people are like, oh, it can't beat this deck, or it can't beat Camerupt, or, you know, you can't even count decks like that, because half the time they can't even set up. So, it's just kind of skewed, in my opinion.
Actually, I agree with Kevin there. Virgin Genesect is getting really underhyped right now. Like, everyone's bashing it, and it's much, much better than people say it is.
Yeah, Silent Lab is like a detriment to the deck, but VG once played Laserbank, and I don't understand why you wouldn't fit it in now. Like, you beat Groudon, so you don't have to worry about playing, like, using lasers against them regardless. You still win the matchup. And against everything else, lasers are still really good.
What I don't understand is what decks even play Silent Lab. Like what do you play Silent Lab in?
I think most
played Toad. I mean,
you play it Toad, but like Laserbank is so much better. It's just not worth it.
Like I really can't think of a legitimate deck that I would run more than one Silent Lab in.
Like Groudon, and then probably some like some decks like stuff like that. It's not bad.
Like you said, though, you're still probably going to lose to Virgin Genesect, so like, there's no point in even teching against Virgin Genesect.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just not that. I don't know, man. I think Virgin Genesect's really good.
It's not worth it. You know?
Yeah, like most decks nowadays use something that Silent Lab would stop, and a lot of the decks that can use Silent Lab lose to something regardless of having it in the deck. So it kind of has no purpose, or they already beat what Silent Lab beats. So it's weird.
Alright.
Like Flareon, for example. Like, that deck, it doesn't really get hurt by Silent Lab, but why would you play it? Because you already beat Virgin Genesect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Alright, so the next question is, why is Kevin so ripped?
I think you should direct that answer to Justin Sanchez, because he's the boy right now. I'm off my game.
I think you guys should redirect that to Britt. Did you see him on that stream? He's fucking back.
I don't know. I don't know who asked that, but whatever. Alright, so huh?
I work out a lot.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean,
I can teach people how to get fat like me. It's pretty easy.
I know how to do that too. It's really, really easy.
Nah, so you cheated because now you're not fat anymore.
But I still know how to get fat.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. You might have lost it. You might not know how to do it anymore.
No, I'm pretty sure I can. I just choose not to.
So next question is favorite card art-wise and/or playability-wise. I guess it's two questions. So what's your favorite card art-wise, and then your favorite card playability-wise?
I guess art-wise, I want to say the Smeargle from the old Smeargle that used to do portrait.
Which one? There's two of them.
The Call of Legends art.
Okay.
The art was just ridiculous, and like I guess playability right now, or I guess is it like right now or like overall?
It just says playability-wise.
I mean, I just really like Junkarm. Like Junkarm was just broken.
what are you talking about?
Junkarm was ridiculous when it was a thing. Oh,
it's 2015. That rotated like 2 years ago.
I found VS Seeker. Fucking broken.
What do y'all think? Or I guess Kevin and Justin.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I literally can't. It's like a spinning wheel.
A spinning wheel.
I don't know what's going on.
My favorite card artwork and my favorite playable card.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite card artwork. I don't know. I can definitely tell you my favorite playable card, and that's probably Eviltal.
I thought you were going to say Tyrell or something.
Oh, no, I mean, 2 dark energy, does a lot of damage. I don't really have to think when I play it. I really like
Like much of the format.
Yeah, I like a lot of the format. At the same time, though, another thing I like about Eviltal is that it gives you a chance in almost every game. So while it is easy to play, at the same time you have a chance to win every game if you play the game correctly. It's weird. The card itself is very, very simple, but then it gives you the opportunity to outplay people. It's weird. And I guess for artwork, I'll go with Venusaur EX from Fire Red Leaf Green. I really like that artwork.
Alright.
I'm gonna say my favorite card, playability-wise and artwork-wise right now, is Trevenant EX. Before, only I can't play the regular art. I'll probably get cancer.
You can't play either of them. I would hope he's not playing either of them.
I'm gonna break it. It's really underrated right now.
Do you not have one with you? I thought you were going to pull it out.
I wish I did. I only have a regular art, and I don't want to infect anyone that's watching this with ugliness.
Where's Daniel Altavilla?
I don't know where Daniel is. He's not messaged me either.
Who cares?
Kid's dead.
I do.
Let's see. Favorite art is Shaman Level X, the fat one. My favorite playable card ever was Spirit Tomb. So.
Arceus?
Yeah, the Arceus one. Yeah. Which is still good. Alright, so, what do you think is the best of the 4 new Mega Primal Pokemon? I know Kevin already basically answered, but if you want to answer, Justin and Raul.
Well, what did Kevin
Groudon.
say?
Kevin, I guess Kevin gives the answer again too if he wants to.
I say like Groudon and Kangaskhan, I think, are like 2 of the best ones right now.
I'm just saying Guardy, just because it has so much use. Guardy, I think, is the best overall.
At first, I thought it was Kyogre. But until, I don't know, if I had time to test play, I'd probably be playing Kyogre, but I don't have time to test play, so I'm not. I'm going to say Gardevoir because it's the most obviously good card in the set, but I think the most underrated one would probably be Kyogre.
I don't know, I think the best one's Groudon also with Kevin.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks the best one's Groudon.
Yeah.
Gardevoir, the issue with Gardevoir is that it's just like, it's almost unnecessary. If you're setting up that much energy on the field, you should win anyway. I mean, it's really nice to have the one-hit KO potential, but it's just like, if you whiff Spirit Link and you have to Mega Evolve the Guardy, or let's say you have like Guardy Juniper and no Link into your last Gardevoir, which tended to happen to me a lot. When I was playing 2 to 3 Link, I'd just whiff it and then I'd get screwed, so ditched it.
Alright. So the next question is, it's if you had to dye your hair to match your deck choice for the event, would you reconsider your play, or would you embrace it and just play the same deck?
I'd do it. Red hair, Flareon, baby.
Oh, the cat's out of the bag where who was playing Flareon.
I mean, I'm not going to play anything for the rest of the season. It's just Flareon.
Everybody tech against him.
I mean, I'm probably playing Eviltal, so my hair's going to stay black. But if I did have to play some ridiculous color, like green, I guess, or red, I would not. I would change my deck.
Ballsy.
I'd probably do it. It'd be like a challenge, like, you know?
Would you dye your hair blue, Kevin, if you are playing Toad?
If I was playing Toad, I would absolutely dye it. I would dye it every single color that Seismitoad is.
Wait, so if you're playing Toad in Eviltal, do you have to dye it half black, half blue?
Half and half, yeah.
or like because it's an Eviltal deck, you have to get like blue tips?
You're getting a little you're getting out there, bro.
I would do the blue tips. For sure. But I wouldn't go red or green.
I don't know if I'd dye my hair green, man. That'd be kind of weird. That's a lot of hair to dye, first of all. Alright, so do you prefer Jaminet or Headringer?
Headringer.
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 Jamming that. Woo!
Combo breaker.
Jamming Net is like better right now. No, I'll take that back. It depends. But Jamming Net is so tight, man.
I mean, jamming it was fun with Evital Hard Charms, but I can't see it being good. Anything else besides that?
Just take any card that has resistance and put a hard charm on it and put a jamming net on your opponent and watch them cry.
Yeah.
I've never really understood why jamming net was good in Evil Tall Hard Charm. You could just run Headringer and you do more damage and you stop them from attacking, which is better than reducing their damage.
In Evital, I think Ringer is better, but I think like in Fairy, jamming net's better.
In Fairy,
it's definitely it depends on the deck. But I prefer.
But overall, I think Headringer does more.
I think overall Headringer is better, but I prefer jamming because I'm bad.
Alright, what's the most underrated item card in the new Boundary Cross through Primal Clash format?
Ooh, I have a good one. Freshwater set.
Oh, that's gonna be my answer.
I'm so serious.
That's gonna be my answer too.
I'm out of here.
Freshwater set.
I just found out.
So when you sit down across from Jose Morero and he goes, "All right, I'm gonna hit you for Landorus 30-30," and then you're like, freshwater set. You just did nothing. Every time. I think I'm gonna play 2 in my deck just so when I play against Jose, I'm just like, you lose.
And heals 20
Freshwater
from all,
set's actually really good. Yeah, he heals 20 from all your Pokemon. That card's actually good.
It's like 6 potions.
It's actually pretty good. Especially when you play against Landy Bat.
Yeah, true.
In fact, that's how you beat Landy Bats with Viridian Genesect. You play freshwater sets, and you will not lose to that deck.
But how many do you play?
Them,
like 2 or 3.
That's a good. Yeah, you would play at least 2 to 3. You play freshwater set, and you play like Grass Energy that heals 30. Like yeah.
Yeah. What about anybody else?
Professor Birch's observation. I mean, I want that card. It just seems so fun. Like, flip it, get that 7, you're good to go.
Yeah, it's awesome judging yourself, man. Acrobike is by far the most underrated card in the set, in my opinion. In some of my decks, I just cut like all my ends out and put 4 Acrobike because it's just a better like. In this format, you need 1 card to blow up, like which is Juniper. So when you open 2 or 3 Acrobike, you get it every time instead of ending your opponent into a God Hand, which happens to me every game. So.
All right. So let's see. What expanded decks gained the most from Primal Clash, and what are your thoughts on the decks to play for day 2?
It's got to be Trevenant. I mean, Excelgor with Silent Lab.
Excelgor, yeah. It's the most obvious answer, Excelgor Silent Lab.
Yeah, I think that deck's obviously stupid.
I think that all players should just agree to play Standard on day 2 because Expanded is a really bad format.
Completely agree.
Yeah, like
I do not like Expanded at all.
I hate Expanded. Yeah. I've never made it, but I hate it.
I hate it in Indiana.
Yeah. I imagine that that's the best. Selgor Silent Lab seems pretty good.
Yeah, I think Ninetales could be kind of interesting too.
Yeah,
that card's good.
Like you can play both Ninetales, so it's kind of cool.
Okay.
Here's a question I was thinking of. Like, what if you think when it goes to the next season, do you think it'll still be black and white owned for Expanded, or do you think they'll actually change Expanded to like make it forward more?
I have a feeling they're just going to get rid of it in general.
Yeah, it's gone.
I hope so.
I think they were trying it, and hopefully they'll realize that it just doesn't work for Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, it does work, but with the current way that everything is right now, it's not good. Like, it literally does like almost nothing. It adds 1 or 2 decks into the already gigantic into the. Yeah, like it just doesn't do much. It's a cool idea. It's a cool idea maybe for like a set of tournaments rather than something like, oh, I'm going to play this one day and that the next day. They should have like maybe city championships being only expanded, something like that, rather than like, okay, I'm going to travel miles away to go play this deck one day, and then in the middle of the night I'm going to change my deck to something completely different.
Yeah, I mean, what do they think? They think the best players have to play 2 decks? Like, that's absurd.
It's just unreasonable. Like, most of the players will stick to the same deck they're playing day one anyway.
Yeah, you finish the day at like 11 maybe, if you're lucky, and then you have to go and spend another 5 hours on no sleep picking another deck, and that's just unreasonable.
Yeah. So, what's the best 30 HP Pokemon? Now, either Joltik or Execute.
Egg.
Joltik.
Neither.
Egg.
Joltik.
There's a different 30 HP Pokemon, Kevin?
I think like Joltik can do like 240 or like 220 or something on the first turn, and Execute can't. So I think Joltik's probably pretty good. I'm not really sure though. You know, when you get an Ultra Ball and you discard one card, it's pretty good. But I think I'd rather do 200 turn one. That's kind of tight.
Egg.
Execute's cute, but like Joltik's really good.
Yeah,
Joltik's good in the deck it's supposed to be good in, whereas Egg is just more versatile in my opinion, so I like Egg. I'm biased.
Cancer Egg though.
Ew.
Yeah, Egg's definitely good.
Yeah. And then, what about in the Heart Goes to Silver? Cleffa, Tyrogue, or Pichu?
You already know mine.
Tyrogue boys.
Tyrogue.
Tyrogue got me my invite.
Can win you $5,000.
Just wait. What has Tyrogue done for us four combined? It got Justin like $5,000.
I got top 4 of my first states as a master.
I got it in with that Tyrogue.
I literally donked everyone's 30 HP Dynamo. Like, nobody was like, everyone's like, 30 HP Dynamo for a treat. I was like, alright, let me just open Tyrogue and kill you.
Oh yeah, when Zekio's first, like Mewtwo first came out, and you played Tyrogue in your Zekio's premiere, it was evil. It was evil.
Nobody expected it. Everyone's like, why does like 2 of the 4 top players in top 4 have like 2 Tyrogue in the deck? I'm like, yeah, boy.
I took like 4 prizes one game with Tyrogue.
Yeah, Tyrogue's pretty good.
Alright. So, the next question is to Justin and Kevin. My schedule only allows for 3 days a week at the gym. How can I best take advantage of my time there?
You could do 3 sets of 5, squat, flat bench, and like deadlift or another compound exercise. And then you would add accessory work on top of it. Like, let's say you were doing like 3 sets of 5, squat, bench, and deadlift. You'd probably add like 2 sets of 8 for like barbell curl or something. And then you just put a day off in between them. It worked really well for me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say ditto to what Kevin said. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like, just work out, do as much as you can in those 3 days. Try to, put everything that you can in there. Just make sure that you're not like, overdoing it for yourself. If your shoulders are really hurting, don't go and do pull-ups because your shoulders.
Right, you have to listen to your body because then you'll just get hurt.
Yeah. Alright, so Kevin said, have them each make a bold prediction for the weekend. Can be about anything.
Jimmy McClure's gonna get his invite. So, bold prediction of the day, boys.
A Trevenant EX deck will top 32. And they will not play the regular art. It will be the full art.
That's some bold prediction there.
Do you know what deck will be in, or do you just...
I have no idea, but I know that it will top cut.
Oh, okay.
Whatever does well at this tournament means nothing. Like, it doesn't actually define the metagame for this set. This tournament is most likely just going to be like really random and maybe something specific will do well more than anything else, but it's not going to determine anything. This tournament is like most likely going to mean nothing, in a sense of the format at least.
Yeah,
right.
It's too random.
Yeah. There's just too many decks, too many players. There's got to be like a very equal amount of almost every deck that's good. So, it kind of comes down to how well you play and obviously matchups, which is like defining everything right now. I guess it always has.
I think it's too early too. I think the good players that come out with some like random good decks,
Right.
they haven't started making them yet.
I mean,
And if they
people,
have, they don't have enough testing into them to trust themselves to play it. Sorry.
Right.
the only people like I know have like a good deck, like, and they're hiding it for now is like
Steven
people.
Bates.
Steven, I know like Franco's got his insight, but he just like, not even Franco wants to like throw out like his Japanese insight tournaments like this. Like he knows this tournament doesn't mean anything. He doesn't want to reveal anything until states really. Like this tournament is mostly like what are you most comfortable with, or how ballsy do you want to be with the deck you want to play. You just show up, play what you're most comfortable with. It's too big. It's like you can't be like, oh, I know this is going to be kind of there. Like I can, if it's a state that's like maybe 80 to 100 people, and you're like,
Exactly. Yeah.
there's like 100 people here. I know this guy's playing this guy's playing this. I can comfortably play my deck. But like, if you've got a secret deck or whatever, like there's no point in playing it here. Like you just kind of show up and you're like, Flareon.
If you want to.
And if you're Stephen Bates, you win with Flareon.
Just win.
Oh, that's
What is it, Justin?
Stephen
It's
Bates make
BB in
day
the
2. That's
garage.
my bold prediction. Stephen Bates make day 2.
listen.
And then
It's
just put
Flareon,
if he does
Leafeon,
go outside, not.
Slowpoke with like Empoleon, Archie, like a
Give it
Turbo
BB?
Acrobike. I don't even know. It's insanity. If you see your name against Bates at Florida, you should just scoop because you're wasting your time. You're gonna get rolled.
When it comes to that deck, I was talking to Squeaky about it for like the past week. We built it without Bates knowing. Like it was like me and Grafton. We've been working on it for like the past 2 weeks. But we're not Turbo Acrobike. It's much more standard vanilla. It's nothing crazy. It's just like kind of consistent with the Archies. It's just like the only reason we have the Archies in there is like a landing counter. Like it just kind of looks like that.
How would you beat it?
That deck, the mirror.
No, just in general. What beats that deck?
Just timely trump cards. Just a timely trump card or a timely end. You have to hope for them to draw dead most of the time. Seismitoad Garbodor just poops on them. They're gone. I'm like, it's kind of simple. You just have to hope late game. You just look at their resources and be like, all right, how many Flareons do they have in discard? How many this do they have? How many that? Like, all right, their energies are all gone. I'm just gonna end you. You're gone.
Go away.
Right. So I'm just curious, Squeaky, how many questions do we have? Because I don't understand why Toad Garb, like I understand why Toad Garb has like obviously been pushed out of the format with like Groudon and VG initially getting the most hype.
Yeah.
But now that the format's kind of moving to faster decks, like almost in the past 10 days, Toad just seems like a better and better play, like with each day passing. Do you guys agree with that or no?
Well, that's what I keep telling people that Toad seems like a really good play, and people keep telling me it's really bad. If Landy Bats gets the hype that's going to get, you just play like scoop ups in your Toad, and like Landy Bats can't do anything. You beat Flareon.
Right.
VG is probably your worst matchup, but even then you can just play Crushing Hammers and the Head Ringers and stuff. So I don't like Toad seems like a fine play with me. I don't know why people keep calling it off.
I just don't like it for a best of 350 minutes format. Like it's just the concept of being ties. Like speaking personally from Virginia,
Groudon's gonna be played. I mean, like I wouldn't be surprised if there were 3 or 4 Groudon in top 32, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if there was none either. But it's gonna be there.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
It's a legitimate deck. Like you're gonna have people playing Mega whatever. Like people are gonna play new cards because they like them and because no one knows what's good.
But
yeah, I mean like.
And you're gonna cry when you play against the guy playing like Mega Aggron or something like that, and he just constantly rolls heads and beats you.
And for me, like just speaking from like what I saw at Virginia, like Toad was written off kind of when it came to Virginia, and like purely because I played Flareon and I had the unfortunate luck of tying against a Donphan round 2. I like literally had maybe like 3 matchups, like just everywhere like I looked at like 1 tie or 2 ties, Toads and Donphans were everywhere. Like the decks that like people had that were safe through cities, like people go into regionals and they're just not like they're gonna tie. Like it's just you just either you have to 2-0. If you lose the first game with, it's just over at that point.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's really with any deck, Rahul, in the sense that like if you lose the first game, you probably are gonna tie. Like
I lost every single first game.
Yeah, right, exactly. The way the game is now, your opponent is like almost like taught to slow roll you, like, in that sense. Like, if you can tell, almost every player, if you lose game 1, they play so slow. And with the judging the way it is right now, it's so understaffed for the amount of players. There's no way you could really effectively, like, stop stalling. So I think that's just in general.
Just like Florida, like even the numbers I know are expected to be gigantic. I'm hearing 500 some Masters.
500.
Yeah, probably around 500 Masters, probably 10 rounds, maybe 2 pods. We don't know how it's going to be. Just like the fact that there's going to be so many new card interactions means like there's going to be a lot more penalties and a lot more questions going around. Like a lot of people aren't going to understand the new card interactions, like escape rope, Groudon. I still don't understand that. Like, does it work? Does it not? Who knows? Like,
I'm pretty sure when you play escape rope, only you switch if Groudon is active, and I don't think you can bring up Groudon with escape rope.
Yeah, it's like weird interactions like that. A lot of people just aren't going to pay attention. Like, they're just not going to know.
The thing with against Groudon and Aggron is they're so slow of decks. I think Sideshow would be able to take like multiple prizes before they even start attacking you.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. I think like Toad versus Groudon is obviously a horrible matchup because it's not really hard to get a Spirit Link on it with Karina. You can search it out. It's like, it's not like you're digging through your deck to get it out. And if they ever somehow get a Scramble Switch off or their ace spec, you're probably just gonna scoop. I think
Toad would
have to tech. Huh?
You can even pass your turn if you attach an energy with Groudon. Like, all you want to do is attach an energy for the turn, and that's pretty much your goal.
Right. They could sit there and give up a couple prizes, but once the Groudon's out, I don't think Toad does anything to it. You would need a secondary attacker that could deal with it, and there's not much that really helps Toad out like that right now. So that's like kind of the reason why I'm shying away from it, but I still think against the rest of the format, barring VG and Groudon, Toad is good.
I think Rahul's point is actually the best, though. I think time just does not favor that deck. No, it really
had a problem.
Like, the main problem to me for Toad is that, like, in my opinion, it doesn't have a good Evil Tall matchup unless they flip tails on Malamar.
Yeah, you have to hit
I'm assuming that, like, if you're running the Malamar one, you actually have a chance against Evil Tall. If you're running Garb, you're going to lose to Evil Tall. So, like, you don't really have a good Evil Tall matchup. I don't think it'll be too popular, but it's going to be something that you'll see. I mean, Toad doesn't have a necessarily great Manectric matchup either. Free Retreat, a 2-energy attack, like, Manectric does pretty good work against Toad as well. Like, my biggest, it was kind of iffy going into it before, but now that you need to try to finish 3 games in 50 minutes and you have all these new Mega decks, I don't think there's a reason to run it. And the fact that Reason Genesect is even better than it was last format, in my opinion.
Right.
Okay, those are really good points, right? I agree.
Like, if you have Toad, if you're going to play Toad this weekend, you've got, like, balls of steel. Like, honestly, you're either really confident that you can play fast and you can 2-0 your opponents, or you're just confident in your deck. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if multiple Toad make it into cut, but I feel like, then again, it's so hard to call it, because whatever is the most played deck is going to, nobody really knows what it's going to be.
Yep.
So that's really the issue here.
I think, to me, the biggest surprise for regionals would be if Rizian Genesect didn't make cut at all. If I didn't see a single one in top 32, I would be extremely surprised.
There's no way. The deck's way too good.
That would be the biggest surprise, honestly. And if there's over 6 Toads, that's also a surprise for me.
Oh yeah, if there's 6 Toad in there, that'd be really weird.
They think maybe 2 or 3 at most, and that's if they get lucky.
What do you think the biggest deck is going to be played at regionals?
I don't think
it's too hard.
I really don't think it's going to matter. There's going to be 3 decks that are all pretty much played the same, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lando Bats will probably be the biggest deck because it's so. GG. Yeah, Lando Bats is probably number 1. It's so easy to play. It's very straightforward. It's aggressive. It's a very good day 1 deck,
I'm going to say that Aromatisse variants are going to be the most popular.
Aromatisse?
I say random Aromatisse decks are going to be good.
Yeah, really bad lists. A ton of really bad Aromatisse lists will be out because I've seen enough to already know.
Yeah, I expect to see a bit of Gardevoir.
I've seen 3/3 Gardevoir with 4 Link, and I want to throw up, man.
Just because this is Florida and I've been playing here for a while, I can feel confident saying there's going to be a decent amount of Flareon, but like I expect like the good players with Flareon, like namely like Grafton, maybe Jim Roll, like to be at the top. Flareon's either going to be at the top table or the bottom tables, not anywhere in between. Like that's my like.
I think Flareon's also very, very strong. But at the same time, it has like obvious weaknesses, like as you said, trump card, and it has its matchups, and just like every other deck in the format, it really has to get lucky with its pairings, and you have to play well.
Toad Laser is really good against Flareon.
Insane, yeah. Unless you're Stephen Bates.
Even if you're Stephen Bates, I still think Toad Laser is really good
against Flareon. I watched top 8 of the cities, in the top 4. And his opponent in top 8 whiffed DC for like 5 turns, like almost both games. And then I whiffed DC like game 2 for like 5 turns. It was disgusting. Like I said, just scoop if you play him, man. Especially if you're on stream, and it's his stream too.
Oh yeah.
What can you do, man?
I wonder how it's gonna work with the stream.
He's only going to play himself on stream. He's just going to stream all 9 rounds of him playing Flareon. He's just trolling us all.
So
I'm just waiting for the Burbank post after. Just 9-0 Florida Regionals.
You can watch all my games on stream.
Yeah. It'll be a fun regionals all this weekend. Excited. Really not. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see everybody, but I'm not excited for the tournament. I don't think I'm...
yeah, whatever, Sanchez. Yeah, whatever.
Hey, man, it's so hard
like
now.
2011 all over again.
It's so hard now. Everyone plays good decks for the most... Well,
the game is
everyone
so
has
different.
good deck. Everyone has good deck ideas. Phrase that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this format's so matchup dependent. It kind of sickens me. Like it's nasty. Like
it's tough to really outplay anyone because there's no real you can't really outplay in a format where Juniper is like the staple card because whoever runs hot off the Juniper at the end, obviously it's just kind of like what do you do? Whoever sees more cards is gonna win the game most of the time.
I like the first regionals format we had the best actually. The one the first set of regionals like Texas, Oregon. Yeah. It was Donphan, Evil Tall, Seismitoad. Those 3 decks were really good.
TDK.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, TDK was really underrated.
It was a good format because there was an obvious play and a not so obvious play. Whereas for Florida, it's so blind that you can come, with the best deck and still go. You can lose 3 games in a row because you just hit random things like. I expect to play probably at least 1 Kyogre, 1 to 2 Groudon, 1 to 2 VG. Flareon, maybe a Night March, it's just going to be like that's really what's going to happen. Maybe I'll play against the Trevenant that wins the event. Who knows, man? Sharpedo.
If I get more than 2
Sharpedo.
So happy.
Sharpedo is kind of cool for expanded. With Dark Patch.
I was going to say, with, I was actually building Evil Tall, and I was like, this Sharpedo is actually pretty good, and then I was like, oh wait, we don't have Dark Patch, it's not that good.
You could use Crushing Hammer, Flare Grunt, and tools and really screw them.
I wanted to use Sharpedo to bring up Groudon and actually do something to it at first, because you can hit it for 50 with a ban, but there's no way I'm attaching 2 energy to Sharpedo. It's just not happening.
Yeah, they'll have already set up Groudon, and you're like, oh, see ya.
I'm like, 50, cool, I'm dead.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about Groudon is how, the thing is, the builds are going to be very drastic from round 1 to round 5. We're going to see, if you sit around the early stages of the game, the first couple rounds, the lists are going to be so awful. And then as the tournament progresses, you'll probably see the best Groudon lists up on the top. I mean, obviously you will, but they'll just be so vastly different. Because I've seen... What's up?
There's so many specific Groudon. In my personal opinion, just having things like Howlucha and stuff just doesn't make the deck good. The baby landers, I see how it's useful, but I just don't see it. I wouldn't play it. My version would be a speed, if Lander CX, I'm hitting you, you have to find a response for my Lander CX first. Kind of deck.
Right.
Where Groudon's just kind of your safety net attacker. Yeah. We're walking into a blind format.
Yeah. I don't have any more questions, so unless you want to talk about anything else.
Let's see. You guys have anything else? I mean, I think we covered a lot of things.
Yeah, we did.
We did cover a lot of things. This weekend, like, it'll tell a lot. Like, just about like this. I'll expect to see a few big names in the top cut, but I don't expect to see like the perennial people that consistently perform at this regional. I'm going to expect to see a lot of newer names in cut for day 2. I'm expecting like a lot of just random players. Like a lot of randoms are going to do well. Like that's just
like Kevin Kobayashi will probably make it. Maybe
like that one random kid, Kevin.
Just like bad players, you know.
Yeah.
Justin Sanchez, Rahul.
Yeah.
You're gonna see Justin Sanchez at like the 2 and 3 table. Steven's gonna stream me. I'm gonna be playing against Steven at 2 and 3.
Incredible.
You're like, yo, Burrow, let's get on the stream.
What's the chance? What's the chance of no Florida players cutting?
Zero.
Cutting the
Zero.
No way.
0%.
0%.
Zero.
The best players in the game.
I didn't know.
Florida's winning this regionals.
I didn't know if we're gonna have another Atlanta situation where everybody who cuts not from Georgia or whatever.
Well,
I mean,
that's because Florida goes there.
There's sort of a reason for that.
Let us have our 5 minutes of talking about how Florida's the best players in the game, starting with like since the game's, I don't even know how far back we could go.
We can go back pretty far.
Just coming from
what is that, like 04? I don't know. I haven't played that long. So it's like 09. They've been consistently some of the best.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was only like 5 or 6 Florida players in there, but there's going to be Florida players in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's going to be a lot of people at this regionals, and like I'm sure it won't be like flooded with Florida, but you'll see.
Yeah. Well, tournaments now are so like everyone travels. It's not like before. Like in 09 when I first started playing, regionals were like 180 people.
Yeah.
With the top 32, and now they're 5. Well, I mean, usually we've been having like 350 to 400 at every regionals consistently. I went to Indiana, St. Louis, and the other, I don't remember the other one, whatever. But they all had like 350 to 400, and with the top 32, it's just like so vastly difficult to make it. So there's going to be a lot of players from other areas. Like obviously, there's strong players in every area, but I just feel like Florida probably has the best accumulation of players for the area. Like everyone's so good. Like Brandon Salazar wins nationals out of nowhere as a Florida random. Sanchez did the same thing. You play, at like our cities, you're playing against the world's competitor, like almost every, like every other round at least.
Tough. Cities here are tough. Like I can tell you that. Like coming from out of
state. He's from Virginia, so.
Like my first season here, like it was like I go to a city's first weekend of cities. I don't know what to expect. I normally don't play cities anyway. Like the cities like I've been to back home in Virginia are like 30, 35 people. I walk into a city, it's like a 70-person cities. I'm just sitting there going, shit, like this is gonna be the longest day of my life. We finished on like 5-2. That was the one Sanchez won in the first city. I went 5-2 and I was like, damn, I went 5-2 and still missed cut. Like this is gross.
Yeah.
Dude, I went like what was it? I went 6-1-1 and 5-1-1 and I was like 7th seed. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, like people were IDing in 5-1 and I was like, why? And then like I think like 2 5-1-1s missed too and I was like, damn, this is gross.
It's so disgusting. Like there's so many players that just don't get the invite because you're playing against such good players. It's like, oh shit.
Like other players in other areas already have their invite, but like when you look at the Florida point standing, like everyone at the top is like Colin Shatsky's like 250, Jose's like above 270, something like that. Like Grafton and Franco are both like 230. Like everyone's so close. Yeah, like.
And you have like Daniel Altavia, who was supposed to be here, takes 9th at Worlds, and like nobody even talks about him like that. If it would have been any other player, he would have obviously got a lot of hype. Yeah. But he's very good too.
He did win regionals too.
Yeah,
he did do that.
Yep.
Super underrated. So yeah, I guess like.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the hardest regionals. So.
It's probably gonna set the standard for like. I don't see any of the spring regionals being bigger than this one. Like just because like, the spring regionals is like they're actually spread out on like winter. Like because the winter like I don't want to like call shots or anything, but like the organizers just like kind of shit the bed on this one by like having 4 regionals on the same day. It's like, and spring they're kind of nice and spread out. So like I can expect people to go
So like people are gonna go like the second weekend. It's like Kansas, Utah. Oh, someone's gonna go here or there. The third weekend you got Georgia, Mass, stuff like that. Like people are gonna travel. Like it's not gonna be as concentrated in the spring. Like this is gonna be the second hardest.
One question: they still have states capped at top 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, top 8.
What's the point of going?
I hate.
I'm dead serious. What? Listen, if there are any people that run tournaments, what is the point of going? If there's a top 8 with 300 people, what's the point?
There's some states that are, I think, doing day 2, and I don't know if that extends to extra Swiss rounds or just
No,
top 8.
it only does top 8 still.
Listen, if there's a top, I remember like last year at Florida States, I think I was like, I don't even remember. I lost the last round, or I tied the last round. I was like, it was like my win, and then I whiffed at like 18th or something when the record anywhere else would have easily top 8'd. It's like, it's ridiculous. They really need to increase, like, to end on like a note here. I just want to say I think top cut needs to be increased from 32 to 64 for regionals and from 8 to 32 at least at states, or they need to do it based on attendance, because when I paid $20 and then whiffed the last round because I performed just as well as somebody else, that's really that's pretty shitty.
It's kicking you down.
I think they should definitely increase states. Regionals, I think if you're gonna have a 10-round regionals, there's no reason for you not to have 64 people in it.
Right. So yeah,
but
I'm gonna sign off.
If you have less than like 360, then I could see top 32. Fine.
Yeah.
Right. I completely agree.
But if you're like really oversaturated and you're having records that are great miss, then that's a bad thing. Like if 20 points ever misses, that's horrible.
Yeah. Well, it still happens all the time. It'll happen at Florida too, and so, it'll probably be me. Probably just wanna, I don't even know, man. I can't quit, so I'll probably just suck it up and go do it again.
Yeah, that's all you can do. If you do miss.
Whatever. All right, boys. It was very nice being on this.
All right, guys.
And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, see you right
We'll
tomorrow.
see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow. Later.
All right.
Thank you.
Safe flight. Squeaky, you're flying in, right?
Yeah, I'm flying in tomorrow.
All right, safe flight, buddy. See you tomorrow,
All right.
guys.